Mourning the loss this morning of Tom Bosley. He died yesterday at the age of 83 and will definitely be best remembered for those 11 years he played the iconic father, Howard Cunningham. CBS News correspondent Betty Wynn takes a look back at the award-winning actor's career.
Sunday, Monday, happy days.
That's my boy.
He was one of television's most beloved dads.
That's what makes it all worthwhile.
Tom Bosley was born in Chicago and started his career on stage, winning a Tony Award for the Broadway musical Fiorello. But it was on television where he was most memorable.
A single phone call would have saved us all this worry.
Well, gee, Richard, I'm sorry. It'll never happen again.
I should hope not.
Sometimes playful, always the concerned dad.
But I'll help you.
Bosley was an original member of the Happy Days cast and appeared in all 255 episodes of the show's 11-year run.
And I'm little Richie Cunningham's father.
Director Ron Howard played son Richie Cunningham and said in a statement, "My last conversations with Tom reflected the love of life and peace of mind that he always maintained throughout his full and rewarding life. I miss him already." Bosley went on to other television success as a crime-fighting priest in the Father Dowling mysteries.
Amos Tupper.
And as Sheriff Amos Tupper in Murder, She Wrote.
I miss you, Mrs. C.
But he will forever be remembered as Mr. C.
Happy Days is what really put them on the map and gave them an eternal place in our hearts.
So thank you all for being part of our family.
Tom Bosley was 83. Betty Wynn, CBS News, New York.
Joining us exclusively this morning from Los Angeles is Don Most, who played Ralph Malph. Donnie, good morning.
Good morning, Maggie.
Seeing Tom Bosley in those clips, it makes me so sad. I can't imagine how you must be feeling. I don't know if it was that comforting voice, that pleasant demeanor, but everybody in America felt like he was our dad, too.
Absolutely. And that was the case for the cast, the four guys, you know, Ron, Henry Anson, and myself. Especially for me, I think I had recently moved to California. I was 20 years old. My family was on the East Coast, so to a large degree, the Happy Days gang became my West Coast family, and what better dad figure to have than Mr. C and Tom Bosley. Unbelievable.
Did you ever turn to him, or did he ever volunteer fatherly advice?
Absolutely. You know, as I was mentioning, the four of us, when we first started the show, we were all single men, and then he saw us go through getting married and getting our first homes, and he loved to sit down with us sometimes before the day's work and find out what was going on in our lives and offer us some sage advice. And you know, it really was that he really was our dad in so many ways. And you know, like you mentioned, that inimitable voice of his was so comforting and soothing. I think most of America felt that way.
When was the last time that you spoke with Tom?
Well, actually, I'm really happy that I got to spend some time with Tom not too long ago, about a little more than a month ago. I knew he'd been diagnosed recently with lung cancer, and my wife and I went out to visit with him and his lovely wife Patty out in the Palm Springs area, and we had a wonderful visit. We went to one of his favorite restaurants and just had a chance to really catch up and just be with each other, and I'm really glad I got to spend that time with him, you know, as I said, just recently. Was it obvious that he wasn't doing well? You know, he was doing pretty well. He was undergoing the treatment, but he had a great attitude, and he was strong, he was fighting. I think he had a good overview of where he was at, but he was hopeful, and he was doing great. It was great to see him that way.
How do you think, Donnie, that Tom would like to be remembered?
I think he'd like to be remembered as a wonderful father and a terrific husband, a great friend, and an actor who really cared about his work and cared about his fellow actors.
So sad that our children, this generation, doesn't have Happy Days like we did, doesn't have Mr. C. What do you tell your kids about him?
What do I tell my kids? Well, there are times when you know, I was at a loss of words of what to say to them in certain situations, and I think I would hearken back to some of the episodes where he would just say just the perfect thing to Richie, and I would try to emulate that. I don't think I was quite as successful as he was, but I tried. He was a great model to emulate.
Yeah, what would Mr. C do? Something that
What would he?
all us parents
Exactly.
could ask ourselves, right?
Absolutely. What would he say in this situation?
Well, Donnie, I know it's very difficult for you to be with us this morning and share your memories, so we thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.